Start the recording. Okay, so in this assignment, tell me what question I mentioned here. Yeah, this question number 8. This is a tuple, and the question was write a program to solve the tuple in ascending order. So how would you do this? Anyone tried? Or anyone wants to try now? Just the approach, how are you going to do this?
By using short method.
By using short method. Okay. So short. So you're talking about?
Yes.
Nothing. Let's try difference. I can't hear anything will be joined. This one okay, so if we run this, what is the error we are getting for this?
But tuple has only two methods as mentioned yesterday in yesterday's class, index and count, so we can't give sort, I guess.
Right. Understood. Who was it who first suggested me this approach? May I know his name?
Spooty? Oh, okay. Sorry. You're asking sort or?
No, this one, the short. Yes.
Yeah, myself, Satyaraj.
Okay, you understood, Satyaraj, why we cannot use? If this would have been a list, then I will just run this and it will run perfect. Okay.
Okay.
But tuple is not having this method sort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tuple, as I told you, is having only two methods, count and index. So who can tell me the use of this count and index? I want to method will not work. Count. We have two ones. Okay. I want to count number of times. Integer 1 has occurred in this tuple. Okay. So how many times 1 is present? 1 and 1, 2. Okay, so this will be used. Okay, and what is index going to do? Anyone studied yesterday, or what does index do?
Position of the.
Correct. So if there are two elements, which position, for example, 1 which is in the very first index, also it is on the 0 to 1 to fourth index. So which index it is going to take? is going to the take the index which occurs the very first time. Okay. Yeah, it will take the first occurrence. Yes, correct. Zeroth. Because index starts from 0, so it is taking this position. All right. One more use of this count. Suppose I want to check whether an element is present or not. Okay. So suppose I am trying to find the count of an element that is not present in the tuple. Okay. Can anyone guess what will be the output? Will it give us an error or will this work? If she is saying it will give an error out of range. Good guesses. But it will give us 0 that this element does not, it occurs 0 times. Okay. This element is not present. If we give an element that is not present, it will give us 0. Okay. So from the value 0, we can have a condition like this. If tuple1 dot count. Oh, I haven't thought about if and else. Oh, I have thought about if and else, I think, right? We can have a condition if tuple dot count equals to 0, then inform the user that this element is not present in the tuple. Yeah, this element is not present. This element we can take it as a variable with a variable here. Okay. Element research. You can make it dynamic. I'm making it static for the time being. Okay. Element research. There can be a lot of real-time use cases like this. Suppose a user wants to check whether he is having account in a particular branch, in a bank branch or not. Okay. So all the all the account details will be present in a tuple or a list, and from there they can just they will have a UI like front end. They will just search with that account number. So if the count is equals to 0, then they can say this account is not present in this branch. Okay. Else, just give the account details. And guys, so any doubt in this? Clear? Can you tell me why I'm getting this error? Anyone? Why I'm getting this error? Beginning parenthesis is
There are
not.
2 parentheses. Yeah, there is no starting parenthesis.
There is one extra. This right parenthesis, right? That is why.
Yeah.
Correct. I see even done this. from here. Now if I run this account is not present in this graph. Okay. Any doubt, guys, in this count method? Any doubt? No doubt. So let's come back to our question. We started with this. Write a program to sort the tuple in ascending order. Okay. To sort the tuple in ascending order. Since we cannot apply this sort method in the tuple, so what can we do here? Let's wipe out. Let's be here. We can convert a tuple into a list. Yesterday I showed how can we convert a tuple into a list. Anyone remembers? Remember this list function? Right, and this I have to give an iterable, that is the tuple name. Okay, now if we see the type of this, I'm just recollecting few things from yesterday's class, okay, so that you can connect. Right. Type of this. Okay, you see now the class is list and it is in square bracket. That means it is a list. I hope you guys now remember this list function that we discussed yesterday. Now, since this is converted into a list, okay. Now, if we use the sort method here, this would work. Okay, so we are getting none. Have we discussed about none data type so far? Can anyone confirm? No, no. Okay, okay. Just a moment. So when we will cover function, we will see that a function can have a return type or can have a return type or it may not have a return type. Okay. Function may or may not have a return type. For example, there are some functions which we saw, right? Input function. Input function. Someone asked me it is okay to use sorted function. Yes, we can use sorted function. I will just come back on that. Okay. So suppose input function, when we get the data type, what is the data type of what is the return type of input function? When we assign any variable to input function, what is the data type? That is a string, right? We have to convert that into integer to do the necessary conversion. Okay, but there are some functions. There are some functions like print. Okay, it does not return anything. It is not returning anything. So it is not returning anything. So basically, if it is not returning anything, means It's a none type. Okay. It means it is not returning anything. It means it is just a none. It is not returning anything. This none is like, we get null values, right? No values. No value is getting returned. And this no value is defined in Python as none type. Okay. It's like null in Java and all. So I'm just telling you this. So suppose how do you write an input, right? We just give like this, and then with the value comes to this input. Similarly, we can have a print statement like this. We have a print statement like this, anything. And then if we try to assign the value to this variable, and if we try to print this variable, okay, let's not run this now. Okay, if you try to print this variable, you will see the return type is it's a none type. Okay, because it is not, this print function also is not returning anything. So we will when we will cover functions now, then we will see. Okay, what exactly is return type. The timing, just consider when no value is defined in Python as none type. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt here in this none type? Then we'll come to our main problem. So here what is happening? List number dot sort. So after sorting, we have to assign it to some like this. We don't have to assign anything. We again, after this sorting, we have to print this list numbers. Okay, it is modifying the existing list. Okay, now if we run this, see this. Understood, guys? Any problem in understanding this?
Danish?
Yes.
When you say function, it's a broad term, right? Input function, there are like different functions. So none written, so any functions, that means all functions that doesn't give or return any value, so none is written.
Correct.
That's what you're
Yes.
saying at the moment, which
Correct.
will be later covered, is it? Okay.
Yes. Correct.
Copy that. Yes.
So this is one way. But if you see, the output type is a list. Okay, now if I again want to convert this back to a tuple, how are we going to do? Like similar to this list function, what we have another function called tuple or tuple. So I will just convert this. We'll name this as sorted tuple. This is a variable, and we will use this tuple function, and we will use the list name here, list of numbers, and then we have to print this. Can you see the difference between the two output? First line and the second line. Can anyone tell me what is the difference?
Initial output is in square brackets and the next one.
Correct. Square bracket denotes this is a list, and this first bracket denotes this is a tuple. Okay. So in this way, we can do this problem. Sort that up in ascending order. First, we convert it into a list. And then we use the sort method that is present in list, and we sort it.
So if we want to do in descending order,
Okay, this is what order? This is ascending order, right? Yes. Yesterday we covered that also, right? We can have a parameter here where we will mention reverse equals to true. Okay, and if we run this now, you see the order will be changed. Is this clear? Okay, we have to use this. We have to use this parameter. Okay. So by default, the value, by default is like this only. It will convert into an ascending order. But when you want to convert this into you want to convert it into ascending order, sorry, a descending order, then you have to use this reverse equals to. Is this clear, guys? Any doubt here? Fine. Now we have another method it is called sorted. Okay. We have this. Let's create a new file, copy this stuff. So this was using a short method we did. Okay. So now we have another method called sorted. Okay. What this will do, this is just going to take this tuple name. Okay, and then the sorted function take a list or a tuple as input and will return sorted list. Okay, so you see we are sorting this tuple and suppose we are assigning it to some variable called sorted tuple. Okay, and then we want to print this. So what is the data type of the output that we are getting here? The list. Okay, so that's why I mentioned here. It can take a tuple or a list as input, but it will return a sorted list. Okay, and how can we convert this back to a tuple? The help of this tuple function we have. Okay, guys, so we saw two ways. So any doubt so far? Okay, I think we are clear. Next, we saw there was an important difference between list and tuple. What was the difference? Table and immutable. Very good. So list is mutable and tuple is immutable. Immutable. Okay. So we have seen other data. So what can anyone tell me what do you mean by mutable and immutable? Just for more clarity in this answer, because this concept is very important, mutable, immutable, that we are going to use throughout the course. Okay, that will help you to decide which data type, whether to use list or tuple or set in different kind of scenarios. So these kind of things is important to have a clear concept on these things.
So mutable is where we can modify the values or add any new elements to it, but in immutable will not allow us to modify or make any changes.
Perfect. That's correct. So that's correct. So we have seen other data types also, like integer, float, okay, string also. String we have not covered in detail, but it is a very important data type. We'll cover that in more detail. So integer and float, are they mutable or are they immutable? Can anyone take a guess? For example, I declared one integer a as 12, and then I just change it to a equals to or a plus equals to 23. What will the value of a now? 35. So whether a is mutable or immutable?
Mutable.
Harshan is telling it is mutable. Okay. So another important mutable, but it is immutable. Okay. How I will just show you. So when one other important thing to note to differentiate between mutable and immutable is if for each operation, how do you explain this? Yes, so here what is happening now, a equals to 12. Okay, so we go to our Excel file. That that so, okay, we'll create a new file here. I will show you what is happening in the background. So variable a. It's so is that person present who yesterday asked me this question, a comma b equals to b comma a? How does that work internally?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So I just searched about it a little bit, okay, but I found out to understand that we need to have some background in computer science, okay, fundamentals. There are something because it goes into a little bit deep about. We have to understand a little bit deep about computer science fundamentals. Then we can understand that, okay. So for the best interest of the people, I will not be explaining to you that here in this. But if you want to know, you can ping me separately, okay? Because that involves some sub subject like microprocessors, a little bit coding from there, then you'll be able to understand that. Okay. But generally in interviews they don't ask that question. They will just simply check, whether how does that work. That's one liner is good enough. Okay. Yep. So what happens here? So in this thing, we're just saying a equals to 12, and when we do a equals to a plus 23, okay. So what is happening? 12 plus 23 gives you 35. The 35 is here, and a is no longer pointing to 12, but is pointing to 35. So this means whenever we are changing the value of integers, a new what do you call a new object is created. Okay, so we have not studied about classes and objects now. We'll cover it later. But for the timing, just understand in primitive data type like integer or float, whenever we do any operation on that, so this the name is same A, but the memory location gets changed. Okay, this is no longer reference. This gets changed. So that is why it is immutable. Like once you assign this 12 in this memory location, there will be 12 only. 35 will not be present in this. It will create a new memory or a new object for that. So that is why A is immutable. For example, I will show you how can you test this. I will tell you, just show you that. For example, we can check the like which particular memory it is allocated, okay, by using this id function. So if we do this print of id a, okay, this was like this is like initial memory allocate number. Okay, and the final memory. Okay, now if you run this, you see these are both different numbers. That means our 15 is in some other memory location, initial value. 12 is in some other memory location, and this 35 is in some other memory location. So that is why this integers are immutable. Okay. Once we assign the value, this is not going to change. It will just point to a different location. So now we are saying list is mutable. Okay. So let's see if we take a list 1, 2. Okay, and I just print the initial memory location for this list. ID of list. Okay, now we modify this list. We are adding a new element. Okay, now we see what is the memory location for this. Modification. Okay, now if I run this, this has no add. Add is for which? Add is for set, I think. Sorry. Which is append. Okay. If you see the memory location for the starting memory location for the list, 448 and 448 didn't get changed.
No.
Yep. So, but for integer, it is getting changed. Okay. So that is why list is called mutable, because even if we add it a new element, first it is allowing, and the memory location is also same. Okay. But for integer, it is changing. So that is why we say this integer is immutable. Float is also immutable. String is also immutable. We'll cover more about string in the upcoming classes. So far the difference is clear between mutable and immutable. Any doubts, guys, here?
just one real-time usage of tuple over list. From data analysis perspective, if you could remember or provide it, maybe like.
So, yeah, actually, from data analysis perspective, there is not much of a difference. So whenever, let's consider, when you have some data, which will not change in its lifetime. For example, you can say there are a group of countries, okay, they have formed some association, and they want like those countries only should be part of that core group for any decision making. Okay, so we can create a tuple out of that group of countries so that no one can modify that. Okay, no one can add or remove element from that. We can have scenarios like this, but mostly this is used in case of dictionary. This differentiation, right, between list and tuple. List cannot be used as a key in dictionary. So I have not covered dictionary. We'll cover it in the upcoming classes. But tuple can be used. The only reason being, list is mutable and dictionary will not allow any mutable. But tuple is immutable. That is why they will allow it to be used as a key. Okay, so this and also one more thing is like for memory, this like for efficient memory usage. Okay, for efficient memory usage, what will happen? Like if you have a list, okay, you are adding element, deleting element. So what will happen? The memory size, it will be resizing the memory. If it is adding, it will increase the existing memory allocated for this list. Suppose we have 2 elements now, we can add 10 elements here. Okay, then you have to increase the memory size. Okay, so that will involve some resources to be involved, right? Who will be managing those resources internally? But for tuple, once it is allocated, it is allocated. You no longer have to, because we cannot modify it. We no longer have to, our resources will not be lost in, uh, or will not be used in memory resizing or reallocation for tuple. Okay, that is also an important difference. Okay, so I think it is clear. Yesterday I was talking about lists. So I have lists. I just recall I missed few things while teaching you lists. Okay, like this del keyword. Okay, so del is used to delete the values, variables or values, anything you can say. For example, in this list, we have how many elements? We initially had 1, 2, then we added 23. So we are having 1, 2, and 23. So I want to remove the first element, okay? Tell list of 0 and 1, and then we are going to print that list. So you see this one got deleted, we have 23, okay? So suppose I want to delete the entire list itself. So we have done just use the list, and then we are trying to print that list. Let's see what error we are going to get. What are we getting? List is not defined, because we have deleted the variable using del. Okay guys, so this was del keyword which I didn't cover yesterday. And then we have something called, commenting out them. we have something like star operator. Yesterday we saw this plus operator, right? How can we concatenate two lists using a plus operator? Even remember I covered this plus operator yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, so what it does generally, if I, so yesterday I showed this, like plus means we add two lists like this, I think, without creating an extra, without modifying the existing list. We do it like this. Yep. Yes. So we covered this. So today, yes. Thank you for the confirmation. And so we can use another way of replicating these values. Okay. If we use this multiplication operator here and we give 3, okay, and then if we print this, this is also one of the operations that we can do with this list. So you see this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like whatever the number we will give here, it will replicate that list that many times. This star operator. Okay, so this is also one of the way of initializing a list with the star operator. Other than this, in list we have something. So in case of this operators, right? Operators. So we saw this operators, this operator, relational operators, logical operators, identity operators. Okay, this I will cover later. And then we have something called membership operator, in and not in. Okay, this is very commonly used, in and not in. Okay, so what in and not in will do, I want to check whether an element is present in the list or not. So how can we do that? We can just use this in operator here. Okay, for example, I want to check one is in that list or not. Okay, and we assign the result to a variable called element present. Okay, so one in list, it will either return a true or a false value. So if we print this, it is true. Okay, so one not APC, one not in list. So this is basically called membership operator. Okay, membership checking. Checking the presence of. So one not in list. So what it is going to return?
False.
False. Right. Perfect. So yes, so this was basically this. And for removing, did we saw how can we remove element from the list? Its pop is one of the method we use to remove the last element. Any other method we covered yesterday? Remove. All right. So what is the difference between pop and remove? Pop and we saw this remove.
Pop removes only the last number from the list, and removes we can mention the index number so that we can remove any number in between also.
Okay, so basically they both remove single elements, right? What if you want to remove, multiple elements? I want to remove this first three elements. Removing multiple elements. Can anyone guess how can we do this? We saw something called slicing, right? In slicing, we saw how we were converting. Suppose I want a sub list, maybe a part of this list I want. So what do we generally give? We give I want only the first three elements. So what should be the index value I should give here? Separated by colons. Or if I don't give colon, if I only give the index, I want the first three elements. Your internet connection is unstable. Am I audible, guys, to you? Showing my internet
Yes.
connection unstable.
Yes.
Okay. So if I mention this, so what will be the value in sublist?
From fourth to end. Interlist.
Fourth to, and sorry, I didn't give a colon here. I gave a, now this, now tell me. So basically, if I don't give colon now, what does this mean? Like it will just pick up this fourth value, it will assign it to sublist. It will only be an integer value. Okay, if you don't give, if you forgot to give the colon. 5 till 5, up to 4. Will it include the up to 4, right? Yes. Which index? Tell me from index, from 0th index to which index?
0 to 3.
Correct. 0 to 3. Yes. So if we run this, must be saved. Okay, saved. So we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it will exclude the like index, the last index minus. Okay. Now suppose I just replace this. I am keeping this in the left hand side. And in the right hand side, I just gave an empty list. Okay, now if I print list, then let's see what will happen. Okay. See the trimmed list now. The initial 4 elements are gone, right? In this way, we can remove multiple elements from the list. Is this clear, guys? Any doubt? In this, it's removing multiple elements.
Please once again explain, sir.
Yeah, sure. So here, what we are doing, you understood that, right? If we keep this on the, how we are getting sublist when we are keeping this on the right hand side. So basically this is nothing. Suppose if I want to remove multiple elements, right? I want to remove the first 3 elements. Okay, so how do we select the first 3 elements using this slicing? We give the starting index and we give the like the third, fourth element index. That is 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically we are selecting all these together and then we are replacing this with a blank empty list, empty value. In this way, this entire thing is getting deleted and we are having only values from this. Is it clear? Was I able to make you understand this?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Thank you. Okay, so we saw this and then we saw this shorted function. Yes, today also we saw. Then there's some function like, max, min, sum, yeah, these functions are also present that we can use on a list. For example, this is the list, right? 1, 2, 3, this one. If I just use the max function on this list, so it will just return the maximum, the largest element present in this list. Something this. $64 is the largest element, it printed as this. I want to see the minimum, the smallest element. Okay, it gave us 4 here. What else? We have sum, right? We use sum.
So excuse me, like will sorted function will update the original list or it will create a new list? I felt like
No, shorted function is returning a list, right? If
new
we
list it
see,
will return, right?
yes, it will
Original list
return.
will not.
Original will be like that only. Will remain
Okay,
as
but
it is.
sort method will update the original list, right?
Correct. That's correct.
So all functions will be creating a new list. Basically, that's correct. Sorted function, max function, min function, and some functions will create a new list, and original list will remain the same. Or
So max, if you see the max and the min, they are not
yeah,
creating a list, right? What is the
yeah,
output we are getting?
yeah, single output.
Single integer they are giving. It's not a list.
Hmm.
Okay. Similarly, if you want to find the sum of all the elements in the list, you need the sum function. So in which condition this min, max, sum, this will fail? Or shorted? Can anyone tell me what will be the value here that will make this conditions fail?
And there are different data types.
Correct. These all will work when that list or tuple will have same data type values. Okay. But I just doubt one thing. I haven't tried this. We'll try. If I give a float number, I think because both belong integer and float, both belongs to number. I think this should work even if we have integer and float. Okay, let's try to find the min from this. Yes, because integer and this float, now they both belong to numbers. This will work. Okay, but if we have any string object here in between, then this is not going to work. Okay, this less than is supported between your integer and float value, but it is not supported between string and this. So we have this exception. Okay, float also it will work. Okay, guys, is it clear? Okay. Okay, this was Then come back to this tuple. Like we saw, we can have nested list, right? A list inside a list. Similarly, we can have nested tuples also. Can have nested tuples also 3, 4, 5. Okay. A tuple inside a tuple, or we can have okay. So tell me this. Let's have some different type inside this. Tell me this, how can I print the value true from this tuple? How can I, in tuple also we use indexing, right? If we give 0, it will print the first value. Okay, so what this is going to print the first value. Okay, now tell me, how can you print this value true? Anyone wants to take a guess? It's done 4 and 3. Okay, let's see.
4 and 2.
4 and 2, someone told me. Let's see. 4. Perfect. If we will use 4, 3, what would happen?
It will print
Out of
the whole.
range.
Out of range, right? Out of range. Just a minute, guys. My laptop is running out of battery. I will just plug in my charger.
Just a guess. I was just wondering if we use len function there, will it give the by getting the value of length of that tuple and by doing -1, can we get true?
Okay, I just came back. Could you please repeat your question, sir?
Hey Danish, yeah, I was just wondering, by using length of that tube variable,
Yeah.
whatever the value we get,
Yeah.
and minus that, and can we get that element true?
Yes, why not? So if we have this len function and we give the triple, and this you're saying -1, and then this, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we can do
Why,
it.
why is that?
Tuple index
Danish,
out of range because we have to give 2 hairs. Yes, so what was your next question?
I was wondering, length, see, we have a different data types, right? And
Yep.
one is string and one is, the other list has got a string and integers.
Yeah.
So will length will consider the string only, right? It doesn't give the
No.
mix.
No. That is not applicable for length. Length is basically length will return the number of elements. No matter
Okay.
what is the data type and all. Okay, number of elements. For example, in this list, how many elements we have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. It will just give you the 5. It will take this entire thing as one individual element.
Mhm.
Okay, and the length of, and so there are 5 elements in this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th element. It will take the entire thing as a one element, single element. Okay, that is one thing. And second thing, if I want to find the length of this subtuple, nested tuple,
Yes.
how
Yeah,
can
yeah,
you
that will be.
how can you find the length of this? Anyone? Length of this nested tuple. So basically, what we have to do, first we have to take this tuple, nested tuple, in a new variable. Okay. How can we do it? I have to give here 4, right? This will pick up the 5th element for us. Right? And if we just use the length function here, okay. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt here?
Please repeat this again, please.
Yep, sure. So I want to find my question is, I want to find the length of the subtuple, nested this tuple. I want to find the length, how many elements are present in this.
Mhm.
Okay. So how can we do that? That was the question. Like if you want to find the length of the tuple, original tuple, we can just use the length of this tuple. We'll get the number of elements in this tuple. But here I have a nested tuple and I want to find the length of that nested tuple. So what we are doing here, we are just so this nested tuple is present at index 4, right? Because our index starts from 0. We have 5 elements. So the 5th element is at index 4. We are assigning that tuple to another variable, and then we are just finding the length of this variable to get the length of the nested tuple. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah, clear. All good. Thanks.
This is one thing, and there are few more tips, tricks here in tuples. I'll just show you. We can have something like this. Let's see, a number and 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me, will this will this give an error, or will this work? The statement A equals to 1, 2, 3 from this.
It will give error.
Will give error, error. Okay, but it won't give any error. See what it is printing?
Is it considering as a string?
No,
It's
it's
considering
just
as a tuple.
correct.
Tuple.
Yes. Okay, so this way also we can have a tuple. Okay, but don't ask me the internal details. How it makes. Okay, it is internal to Python also. Okay, so this will make you a tuple. We can have like this also, A comma B comma C comma D. Okay, so this type of assignment, this is also a tuple. Okay, a tuple assignment. But here what is happening? We are assigning individual elements like 1 to 1, B to 2, C to 3, and D to 4. Okay, this way also it can do. You can do it like this also. We can have it in bracket. Okay, we can have it in this way also. printing this, assigning one to one element. And there is one important thing. If we give something, okay, this is understood, right? No doubts here. So we have something called A comma B, a star of C. Okay. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is happening here? Like from this feature, I think is added from Python 3. This was not in Python 2. I think. What is happening if we mark an element with star? Okay. If a variable with star, it will if we mark any variable with star now, then what will happen? It will allow multiple values, any number of any number of values or multiple values be assigned multiple values to be assigned to it. Okay, it will, so for example, if we have a normal thing, a comma b comma c equals, if we do it like this, and if we save and run this, so we are getting error, too many values to unpack. Okay, but if we give a star c here, okay, and then we try running this, or then we try printing this only the last variable where we are giving a star. Okay. Is taking that as a, what is it taking it? Can anyone help me with this?
It is taking the rest elements as one variable.
Yes. What is the date? What is the type of that variable? By seeing the output, can you guess what is the type of that variable?
List.
Correct. So it is then taking the rest of the element as a list. Okay. So whenever we have like this, whenever we are not sure how many elements can be present on the right hand side, or how many are in there, so we can use one star operator to get it. Okay. We can do it like this, or rather than making C, we can give A as star. Okay, so this will what will happen. This C will be 8, B will be 7, and A will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this case. Actually, these are not asked in interviews, so I'm just telling you for your this, just for to increase in your knowledge about this. Okay, generally they don't ask these kind of questions in interviews, but just we should know some of these things. That is why I'm telling you this. Okay. See, the A is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have B as 7 and C as 8. Okay, guys. So hope this is clear. Okay, fine. So this was basically this, and we also saw how can we, we also saw how we convert a list to tuple and vice versa. Okay, so no doubts till this point. Okay, I think no doubts. Then we also saw yesterday how do we create one single element tuple. Element tuple. Can anyone tell me how what is the syntax for creating a single element tuple? Is this a tuple? Single element?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, how do you define a single element tuple? An element with a single element.
We have to put a comma
Correct.
after.
Yes, you have to remember this because sometimes they might ask you this question. Okay. Or someone told me this one, a equals to 1. Oh, who is it? A equals to 1. Oh, a equals to 1. This will not be a tuple. This is a very integer data type. Okay. This is not a. Okay. Sorry. So we are almost covered list and tuple. Okay. We will come back to it. We will come back to these topics when we go in, when we will cover about loops and all. For loops, then we will see how we can iterate through an entire tuple or a list using for loops. And also, like when we will be doing like these lists and these tuples, they will be used very frequently, especially list as we progress. So we will revisit these topics later. Okay, as and when it will be required. So now we will see about sets. Okay. So one thing always remember set about set is uniqueness. Okay, this unique elements. It's a collection of always a collection of unique elements. It will never have duplicates. Okay, and the elements in set should be immutable and hashable. Okay, hashable I have not covered this till now. I will cover it in the upcoming class. But just forget about hashable. But just remember elements in the list should be immutable. Okay. So that means we cannot have a list inside a set because list is mutable. Okay. And how do we declare set? Either we use the set function. Okay. Set function, but inside this set function, it should be, cannot have individual elements like 1 and like that. Okay. It can have one only single if you want it again, but it cannot have, we cannot give it like this 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Rather than like this, we can have a list of people inside this to create. This is for creating a set. Okay, this is for creating a set. Either this or you can use curly braces with 1, 2, 3 elements like this. So let's see how this works. So let's have a variable for that one. Can have multiple values like this, and if we see the data type of this, type, right, this class type. Oh, sorry. Can anyone tell me why I'm this what mistake I made here? I think the variable name. Right?
One.
Correct. creating a class set. Okay. But here's a key difference. If we don't give any value here, what are we getting?
Dictionary.
Dictionary. So you have to understand, because dictionary is also declared between this flower brackets. Okay. So that is why if we keep it empty, it will take it as a dictionary. So if you want to create an empty set, then you have to do like this. Okay. For an empty set, we cannot have only flower. Like empty list we saw, right? We can create with this. Empty tuple also we saw, we can create like this. But set we cannot create like this. Okay, this will create a dictionary. Okay, to create an empty set, we will use this set function and this. What is dictionary? Yes, after set we will cover the dictionary one. Okay. Yep. So we create an empty set, and now if we see the type, we're getting set. Okay. So one thing was I was talking about collection of unique elements. For example, I have a list where I have. Okay. So there are some repeated elements here, duplicate like 1 and 3. Okay. If we pass this list here, and if we try to print this set 1, see this, is it having all the duplicate element or only unique elements?
Only unique elements.
Correct. So basically it maintains unit. So example, if you are, suppose you have huge files, you are extracting data from some file, or maybe the government has decided to give some relief, for a flood affected area, anything. Okay. For that, what they did, they collected the Aadhaar ID, Aadhaar numbers for all the people. Okay. Or any unique identification number for the people. And now, based on that Aadhaar number, they want to distribute the that relief package. Okay. And this Aadhaar number, they're collecting from multiple centers. So there might be high chances, that the same Aadhaar number gets repeated at different centers. Okay, so they will get, a double or triple relief packages. To avoid this kind of situation, we can collect all the numbers in a particular list if we have, and then we can convert it into a set. So that is going to remove all the duplicate elements. Okay, so we can think of a use case like that.
Quick question, Danish.
Yes.
When here the set -1, you're assigning that set list there, but instead of the you should have can't we use the curly bracket, as you said, like set is defined in a curly bracket. So why are we using the parentheses brackets of list when we are assigning set 1 and printing set 1? So set is defined as a curly bracket, right?
Yeah.
He's converting the list into a set.
Yeah, but definition wise, the curly bracket should come.
No, if you see how we declare set, I have used this set function.
Yeah.
This is one way, and I have given an or and a curly braces. Okay, if I want to do the same thing with these curly braces, so what we can do here, we can keep these elements inside this. Okay. And then if we try to print the set 2,
Can we also give curly braces and LST there, Danish?
You're telling here, can we give an LST here?
No, instead of giving the numbers, can we directly give LST?
Oh, here you're telling?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I haven't tried it. Let's see which one is working in. Okay, we'll try all the options.
Sure.
So this is working fine. Okay, we have now two sets. Here also it is removing the duplicate elements. Now, yes, so question is here, can we give LST only? Let's see. I also have not tried this. Good, we are getting all the options. You get this error, unhashable list, an unhashable type. So I haven't talked about hash. I just in the beginning only told you I will speak about hashable a little later. So basically, it is not allowing. It is not yes. So I told you, right? Elements in set should be immutable and hashable. Okay. So list. If we give this brag here, what is happening now? Here in this particular thing set, it is not taking it as a list, right? It is converting. It is just taking the elements from the list. But here we are giving a list, and list cannot be present in a set. For example, let's have 2, 3, 4, 5 individual elements, and then we are passing one list here. Okay, so this will also give you the same error because we cannot have an immutable or unhashable thing in our set. Just forget about hashable because list is mutable, we know, right? So list cannot be present in a set.
That means we can't even give a tuple as well.
No, tuple is this immutable, right?
Okay.
Tuple is immutable. That is why the difference. That is why we have tuple because list. We saw list so many operations. But why do we need tuple? Okay, so in these kind of scenarios, we need a tuple. Okay, so set is collection of unique elements and it is unordered. Okay, set is unordered. The order will not be maintained here, insertion order and the retrieval order, unordered. So you see, we put it at the end, right? But if you see when we are printing it, it is coming in between this tuple. That is why set is unordered. Okay.
So can we find out the elements inside a tuple using indexing, inside the set using indexing?
No, indexing is only applicable for ordered thing or like ordered collection. Okay, we cannot use indexing here like for retrieval. The set is unordered. So basically, the usage of I will show you some of them. So how can we add elements to a set? Okay. So set is also mutable. Always remember the set is mutable because we can add elements after declaring the set. We can add or remove elements. That means we cannot have a set inside a set. Like if I convert this tuple into a set, we cannot have nested sets. Okay. Unhashable type. We cannot have nested because set is also mutable. Okay, now let's see how can we add elements. Like we have this method So these are the methods available in set. Okay, add, clear, copy, difference. There are so many methods. I will tell you the important ones. Okay, for adding just an element 1 2 2 2 2 2. Okay, then print this set 1. One, two, three was there. We added this. If you want to remove any element, so remove, you can maybe have remove function. Remove which element we can remove one. Okay. Then the remove function we can remove also. Now one is not present. Now there are few interesting things that we have studied, sets in maths. Okay, we have something called union. Okay, we have something called union. We have intersection, and we have called symmetrical difference. Suppose we have two sets. Okay, so we have two sets here, set 1, set 2. Let's comment out the rest. Set 1 is having 1 2 3 element, and set 2 is having 1 2 3 45 and a tuple. Okay, I want to find a union of the two sets. Okay, so how can you find the union? I'm just printing the union after this. So, or let's have a variable set 1. Okay, and then we have to give this this sign. Okay, this is just a straight line sign that is above this backslash, and this set 2 multiple the unions. So you saw this this 1 2 3 is from the first list. You can say 1 2 3. Since this is common, it is not repeating it. Okay, because this result is also a set. So 1 2 3, and then we are getting this 1 2 3 and 45. Okay, if you want to find the intersection, like what is common between the two sets. Okay. You can have scenario, right, where you have two lists, two different types of lists, where we want to find, we want to combine all the elements into one particular set. Okay, we can convert it into a set, and then we can use it like this. Similarly, to find the intersection, we use this ampersand sign. We'll give you intersection, and then we have called symmetrical difference. Symmetrical difference is like mutually exclusive element. Like elements that are in one set, or but not in both. Like minus the like whatever is common apart from the common, it will remove it. Like it will only the which elements are not present, not common between the two sets, it is going to print them. And this we have this guys. So these are not that important. I'm just for your knowledge, I'm telling you, they are rarely asked in interviews and all. Okay. But just for your just for your information, we have these things for only for set. Okay. Basically, in set they will check, they will give you a scenario, and in that scenario, there will be some duplicate element where you have to only find out, the unique elements. So what you have to do, generally it will be a list or tuple, and list, it will be a list. You have to convert that list to a set to find the unique element so that there is no duplicate. This kind of scenarios they generally ask in interviews. Okay, they will not ask you to do a union or do an intersection. Okay, I'm just telling you for your in knowledge. That's it. So if I run this, you see the common is this, and these are the unique elements. So this was union, intersection, symmetrical difference, and this was basically about sets. So any questions in this, guys?
So in union, the result, if we observe, we have done union between set 1 and set 2, right? So
Yes.
when it's printing the values from set 2, why is it considering the elements of 1, 2, 3 in the brackets first and then 45? Why is it not printing 45 comma 1, 2, 3 in the result?
Oh, since this 45, so basically after a union, okay, after the union, a set is getting created. After this union, like this union, the result is a set, okay? And in that set, they will maintain some internal logic to determine which will come first and which will come later.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Any other question, guys? No questions? Okay. So, so since a set cannot have a set, like we cannot have nested set, okay. So to overcome this problem, they have created another, just a modified version of set, okay, that is called frozen sets. Okay, it is just like a set, but only difference is it is immutable and hashable. That means it can be used, it can be present in a set. Okay, it can be present in a set. So how do we declare this? Suppose we have a set. Let's create a set. Or let's do it like this only, no problem. The set can also have mixed collection, okay, data type. It's not that can have only one. Can be a collection of different data types, just like list and tuple. Okay, so we have this set. Now I want to create one, create frozen set from this. So we just have to pass this set. variable name here, okay? And then if you try to print this, so this will give you a frozen set. Okay, and like this is the format for printing for this. Okay, if you see the type of this variable type of that. So belongs to class frozen set. Okay, now
Why is it not printing true here?
sorry, can you come
Uh,
again?
It's not printing true, right? The
No,
frozen.
we have not printed the set. Okay, let's see. Oh, it was not printing that true.
Yeah.
Okay, then I missed it. Oh, correct. Yeah, it's not printing true. Why it is not printing true? So weird. Good observation. Maybe I will check this. Okay, I'm not sure why this is not printing true.
Sure, no worries.
Yeah, I will check this why it is not printing a Boolean data type. I will check this. So yep, so this is yeah, this frozen set, right? So this is immutable and hashable. Okay, that means we cannot add like what we have, we can add instead, right? Like resource dot add. Okay, so if you try to add an element here, might be a 12. I run this. It's telling frozen set it has got no attribute add, so that means it is immutable. We cannot add elements to this. Okay, but we can have it inside a set. For example, this is the set one, right? We can have it set one dot add, and we are trying to add this frozen set to this original set. Okay, and then we will try to print this set. So we are having a frozen set inside a set. Okay, just to overcome this scenario, where we cannot have set inside a set, they created this frozen sets. Okay, and it is just opposite of set, it is immutable and hashable. Okay, so this was all about sets. Okay. Yeah. So any questions, guys, in this topic what we have covered till now? Any question, guys? So far, any question? No questions? Okay, then we can move on to the next topic. Let's talk about this. Yeah, so I missed one thing in tuples. Though tuple is immutable, we cannot change the elements. But when the tuple is having a mutable element, for example, when this tuple will have a list inside this, okay? When this tuple will have a list inside this, we will be able to change the list, okay? Because this is a mutable element, list is a mutable, right? So whenever we have this kind of scenarios where you have a mutable element inside an immutable element, we can modify the immutable element. For example, in this tuple TUP, okay, suppose I want to update the value of true, I want to make it false. Okay, so this is the fourth index, and this is the second index. We can make it as false, and now if you print this stuff, and this, where is this error? This is not placed. You see this? So this is a little bit, you have to remember this, okay? When we have a mutable element inside a tuple, which is immutable, then we can modify only the mutable element. Okay, guys, so this was basically all about less, tuple, and set. These are very important in Python to have a proper understanding of this. In Python, 0 is false and 1 is true. So try using this. Comma 3, comma 2. I didn't get it. So what are you trying to say, Aziz here?
So in Python interpreters, one and zero are basically true and false. So even if you're taking, 1 comma 2 comma and true, it will not print true because one is basically it has taken as already as true. But if you print 2 comma 3 comma true, it will print true.
So you want me to change something here, like in this?
No. In the previous example, the
maybe he's
Boolean
asked-
example. The Boolean
Yeah,
you took as Boolean as element, no? So the Boolean value was not printing, no?
Oh, here you're telling?
Yeah.
This?
Yes, it will not print true because you have already taken one as an element. But if you remove one, it will
Okay.
print true.
I got it. So if I give false here, so you're saying this will, because false is 0, right? Yes, false is equivalent to 0.
This will print.
Printing that one. Element of these things and see. Oh no, after converting only we are trying to print it, right? Yes. So that. So you're telling?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Yes, you are right. Correct. Thank you for this.
Now, if
yeah.
you want to print, want to print true, you have to remove the value 1 inside the element inside the set.
I got it. Because yes, true is equivalent to 1 and false equivalent to 0. Yes. Thank you for that. This correction, Aziz. Okay. Thank you for your input. So we have understood, guys, what Aziz said. Anyone having a problem in understanding this? What he told? So basically, what he's telling, I will just show you here. So if we give a if condition, okay, and if we see if true equals to 1, okay, print is equivalent to 1 in Python. Okay, so basically say true and even are equal. Okay, so let's run this. See this? So basically both are equal. So that is why. And in sets, we maintain uniqueness, right? It should be unique. If we, even if we give two elements, even if we suppose even if we have two twos here, it will print only 1 2. So that is why when we are giving true here, since true is equivalent to 1, so we can have either of these, either this or this. Okay, so this is what he told, and I think everyone got it right. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Any doubts? Okay. So no doubts. Then we have only 7 minutes left. We can just quickly see what is the dictionary. Then we can wrap up this session. So dictionary consists of value pair. Okay. So which element can be key for a dictionary? Which data type or you can say which types. Which data type or which objects can be used as key. Okay. So same condition, keys in dictionary should be immutable and hashable. Okay. So hashable, what actually is hashing? What actually is hashing? So hashing is like you say suppose we have let's file for this. Really hashing is a very huge topic. Okay, we have several books written on hashing. Okay, I'll just try to explain a very simple way. Suppose this is a function. Okay, we have some function written. Okay, so we have this function and in this function we are passing some input, getting some output. What is written inside this function? Simply the size of this. Is my screen visible to everyone? Is it big enough? I see. Basically, we have okay. So what is inside this function that we don't know? Okay, we know that what we know, suppose if we are giving anything as input, I give 1 as input, okay, and we get output as 10. We are passing a list as maybe a list or a tuple, I think, anything, or a tuple as an input. We are getting the output as 45. So what is happening inside this function, internal details, we don't know. It's like a black box for us, okay? We don't know what is happening inside, okay? But we know for surety that even if we give this 100 of times to this function, it will always give you the same value. It will not change. Okay, so no matter if we give the same input every time, it should give us the same output. Okay, that is basically, it is, this function is calculating hash value. Okay, function is calculating some hash value for the inputs. Okay, for few elements that are mutable, like a list, that are mutable, like if we have a list like that, right? If we have a list that are mutable, this function will not be able to and this hash value that the function is calculating, it should always be the same. Like if we give the same input 100 of times, it should give us the same output. Okay, same hash value it should give. But in case of elements like list which are immutable, this hash value will differ every like for each every time we give the same list as input, but the hash value will be different for them. So that is why those are unhashable. Okay, those immutable elements are unhashable. That even if we give the same input twice, it is no, there is no guarantee that it will give you the same output. Okay, but for elements that are hashable, if we give the same input, it will give us the same output. That is taken for granted. So that is why they are hashable. Okay. So this is just, I am just not getting into any details, just an high level overview I gave. Okay. So any doubt guys here? What are hashable and not hashable? Any questions? Okay. This we don't need to understand also in depth. It is not at all needed. Okay. So basically I was telling keys in dictionary, like just like whatever elements that can be present in whatever element that can be present in set can also be present in can also be used as dictionary keys. And to initialize an empty dictionary, we use this flower brackets. Okay, and if we want to create, suppose just a dictionary like this, so this is the syntax. We give the key here. Okay, key is given here. We give a colon and then give a value. If we have more than one elements, so this key value, this is taken as one element. Okay, this pair. So we can have key 1 and value 1. We can have key 2, value 2. Okay. So this is just the syntax I showed you. Let's comment on this. So suppose I have a dictionary of numbers in one as key and this value as key. Okay, this is the way we declare a dictionary. And if you want to, like, if you want to retrieve, if you want to see what is the value for the key, so we have, whenever we want to retrieve any value. So I'm closing the session, guys. We have only a few minutes left. I will just take 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Retrieve value using key. Okay, so we have this number in words, and then we just have to give the key here. Okay, we have to print this. This is one way. There is one more way. I will just show you. This. We have this. We can use this way also, and this we can have get and the key value first. Okay, if we run this, key value is 1. Okay. Similarly, if we give the second key, we give us the second value for that. So we'll this was just I just started dictionary. Okay, we'll cover it in upcoming classes in more depth for dictionaries. So any doubt, guys, in the topics today, what we covered, or from any earlier thing? Doubts means we are going to close the session. So today, what did we cover? Today we saw. Today we have seen more about some list, extra functions and lists. We have covered about tuples, about sets. We saw membership operator, right? Membership operators in and not in. Okay. And we started dictionary. Okay, so these were the topics covered today. So I think we are good to end the session. So I will be sending you the assignments. So try to complete all the assignments. If any issues, you can discuss in our next session. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you, Danish. Very insightful session today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. Bye.